fishing with Tristan and Alex, and I usually push them up to the front and try to hide behind them and try to let them take all the questions. Alex was my best friend, all of our best friends. Up in Humboldt, we became a little family. From duck hunting, fishing, doing tournaments, fun fishing. Sorry, Mom. Getting drunk. From barbecue, we did it all of us. And the memories we made, the times we've shared. I wouldn't trade them for the world, and I know Alex really wanted to go to national championships, and we worked our ass off at. Sorry for my French, but we worked our ass off at Lake Mead to get to qualify to Kentucky. And I remember calling Alex and trying to figure out what we're gonna do and how we're gonna get out there. And he told me we'll figure it out after we get back from Catalina. And I called him before he went out. And sorry if I don't offend anybody, but I called him and I'm like, hey bud, how's the bike? You getting on him? And of course, no, it's slow. We ain't getting shit. And I'm like, alright man, well give me a call when you get off the water. I love you. And everybody knows that we're friends, that I tell everybody I love them, and everybody gives me crap because I'm that guy in the group that gets all the crap. But I told Alex, hey man, I love you. Give me a call after. And he's like, hey, shut up, you homo. And it's just Alex. He was like a brother to me, and now I gained a second family, and I love you guys so much, and all of our friends. They're just a big family. I just want to thank everybody, and I'm gonna try my best out in Kentucky, so we'll see how that goes. Thank you.
So after everyone's been talking about how, Alex had this personality of just living life with no fear, none of us are really good dancers. We went to the bars Thursday night because beers were cheap and we could forget about how bad of dancers we were. And so we'd stay there, and one night we came out and we might have been waiting for Rudy or someone, and our friend Dylan over here, he's a bouncer at one of the other bars, and Alex just took his place as bouncer, and we got this little 4'6" guy, and all these football players want to come in. He's like, ID. And I'm like, Alex, man, you're gonna make me bust you out to a fight, or that's how we lived, and he was the biggest inspiration to all of us. I already miss him more than words can describe. He'll always be our brother. We'll always love him. We'll always live our life for him. And at this point, that's all we can do. We can live our life to represent Alex's personality, his mentality, his desire to just do the best you can at everything you can do. I would take him deer hunting, and I would push his limits, but he was always willing to do anything. He was the biggest trooper I have ever met, and if any of us can just live up to be half the man that he was, we have succeeded in life. So thank you guys for coming out.
I'm Joey. Rudy, me and Alex lived together for 2.5 years, almost 3 years now. And Alex used to call me Grumpy Joe because he knew I was the kind of guy that doesn't like to show any emotions, and I don't like to get up here and cry. And I'm looking at Rudy, and I'm like, oh my God, what did Alex say? I'll tell you right now. So for now, I think the whole thing is just, what would Alex want us to do? It's like Alex doesn't want here sitting at a bunch of big tables crying and all that stuff, and it's just like, let's honor Alex by doing the things he likes to do, and let's be here for his family. It's like, I look at this boat and this truck, and it's like, I spent so many hours in that thing, and there's more stories between this Duramax and this this boat here that most people have in their lifetime. It's like, driving across the state and that ejector harness is held together by zip ties, and all the CB boots are zip tied, and everything's zip tied. And me and Jamie would always be like, "Would you fix that before we leave?" Like, he's like, "Well, it worked." I'm like, "Okay, we get down to 101, things starts misfiring again." It's always something, and it's like Alex would always joke around, like, "Why does it always have to be me? Why do I always have the worst luck?" And all this stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, man, we do have some pretty bad luck sometimes." And we always try to make sure we didn't have bad luck, but every time we had bad luck, it was like the best story ever. Like, we had this thing buried in a riverbed for a night. And the whole thing with the mud and the we shot a beaver, but we were hanging on, and I'm like, he's like, "I gotta call my mom. She's gotta come pick us up." And I was like, "All right, man." So we sat in the middle of the Sacramento Valley, watched the sunset, and a bunch of geese flying around for like 2 hours, and that was like something you never forget, So it's all that kind of stuff, and I think the last thing Alex wants us to do is sit here and be sad. So and I think about that too. Is like right after the accident, I work out on the ocean. I was sitting there. I don't know if Eric's here yet, but I'm like going out on this boat to catch anchovies, and I'm like up against the rails of the boat because I'm looking at the ocean, and I'm like, does Alex really want us to sit here and like be afraid of the ocean? So it's like, no, it doesn't. So I think we should all have that mindset. Fished many times on the Delta, and I was telling his family about this kind of stuff that Alex used to do, and he used to surprise me with the things he would do. And we were fishing a tournament. We're in this backwater, this finer place where we shouldn't be. Back here fishing, but and we were coming through all these docks, and there's this kid sitting on the dock, looked kind of raggedy, and he was fishing, and then Alex just put the trolling motor high and went away from what we were doing, and I was like, what are you doing, man? And he's like, no, it's a kid. And he went over there and he pulled his tackle out, got a bunch of hooks, got a bunch of worms, got a bunch of weights, tied the kid up a rig, and like showed him how to cast it and catch fish. I was like, dude, you just took your time out of this tournament. Stuff like that. It's like we don't even think about that kind of stuff. But now it's like every time I'm like thinking of like, what would Alex be doing? It's not like just live like Alex. It's like think like Alex and do what Alex does. Cool. But fix your truck properly. Don't use it.